Number 10, how did you prepare for a mission and what would you change? I did not prepare for a mission, not as I should have been doing. I read Preach My Gospel. That was really well. It was nice. Like, it pretty much drew the outline of what you are going to begin to teach people. But what I would have changed is I would have learned how to cope with stress, depression, anxiety without the outside world. Because on a mission, you can't watch TV, you can't look on the internet, you can't scroll through social media, you can't just go play video games or go call a friend or just be alone. You have to 100% rely on the Savior whenever something comes into your way. So that is one way I wish I would have prepared better, is to cope better through the Savior back home by reading the scriptures or just anything spiritual.
How did I prepare to go on my mission? Um, Not well enough, I guess. I went to seminary and did a mission prep, took like gospel principles classes, stuff like that. It's always good to prepare that way. Also, personally, it's good to prepare. One thing I'd change is I'd probably pay attention in seminary because they talk about some good things. And I have like a bunch of half-written scripture diagnoses. Is that a word?
Yeah,
Is it diagnosis?
diagnosis.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Anyway, they're just half done. And yeah, if I could change it, I'd just try harder studying the scriptures.
Um, how did I prepare? That I didn't really prepare. I wish I did. It's a lot harder if you don't. Go to mission prep, read, preach my gospel. I know I heard that all the time before my mission. I didn't take it seriously, but read, preach my gospel if you're going on a mission, because it is so doctrinally sound. You can learn a lot from it. I've learned a lot every time I read it, and it's necessary on your mission. So get a head start on.
How did you prepare for your mission and what would you change?
I prepared for my mission by going to mission prep classes every Sunday. Something I would change, I'd probably just be a little more dedicated on studying on my own.
So, how did I prepare for my mission, and what would I change? What would I do differently? I would say that, well, one, I studied a little Spanish because it's the mission language. I was reading the scriptures a little bit more. I was reading Preach My Gospel a little bit. Back in that time, there was a pre-prep program that you had to do on your mission portal, so I was doing that. I remember distinctly that I had to watch like the district videos and whatnot. And honestly, what I would change is I would have prepared a lot more. I would have made a bigger focus on reading the Book of Mormon. I mean, I did read it before the mission, but I was reading it to read. I wasn't really studying the precepts that there were in there. So one way I'd prepare myself for the mission that I'd change would be to familiarize myself with the Book of Mormon. And another thing, like, I would have left with the missionaries for sure. I would have wanted to like hear from them how they taught the lessons, and just kind of like have that hand-on experience with them. And I'll just make sure that like my prayers, I just would have just made sure to be a lot more focused on just preparing for the mission and not other things. Oh, this might be my last time doing this, it'll be my last time doing that. No, just I would have preferred just preparing for the mission. And doing those things, familiarizing myself with the Book of Mormon, and getting to all the lessons that lead with the missionaries.
Okay, so that's question number 9. Question number 10. How did you prepare for your mission, and what would you change, or what would you do differently? That's a really good question. Preparing for the mission is something I wish I would have done better because there's a lot of things you could do to prepare for your mission. But I think one of the things that I did was read the Book of Mormon to prepare for my mission, and that helped me a lot. But something that I would change or do differently is I would read the Book of Mormon first. I'd read the Book of Mormon, but I would also study chapter 3 of Preach My Gospel. Chapter 3 is where all the lessons that we teach come, or that's where you learn about all the lessons that you teach as a missionary. And so if I were preparing for the mission again, I would read the Book of Mormon, try and read at least a chapter every day, or try and read, just try and read it frequently. But then I would also take time to study the topics that they talk about in chapter 3 of Preach My Gospel. And also, that might sound like a lot, but something that would help too is to start right now is to memorize scriptures, just small ones. Like if you can find small scriptures that you can memorize, like in 15 minutes, in 10-15 minutes, those will help you a ton. Like Ephesians, I think that's how you say Ephesians, chapter 4, chapter 4, verse 5 says, "One Lord, one faith, and one baptism." And that was one that I learned. Like I learned it in Spanish because it was really super easy. It's like un Señor, una fe, y un bautismo. And so that's really, I think that would be something that would really have helped me more to prepare for the mission, is memorize the small scriptures that come in chapter 3 of Preach My Gospel. So that would be something cool to do.
Mission retreats. I went to mission prep sometimes. Yeah, sometimes. Things I would do different. I had faith, I had a testimony, but maybe I didn't have the strongest testimony that I wanted. But I got to work in the temple at Payson, and that was something that really changed my perspective on things, because working there was honestly a really big blessing. So if I could change things, I probably would have tried to work in the temple more, and I would have read the Book of Mormon all the way through before I got to CTM. It's really good it's something good to do. Yeah, do that. Read the Book of Mormon all the way through.